once, upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. 'Tis some visitor, I muttered, rapping at my chamber door. Only this, nothing more. Distinctly I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow for the lost Lenore, the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. The silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now to still the beating of my heart I stood repeating to some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. Only this, nothing more. Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. Sir, said I, or madam, your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you here. I opened wide the door, darkness there, nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the darkness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word Lenore. Merely this, nothing more. Back into my chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping louder than before. Surely said I, surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is, in this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, in this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, nothing more. Open here I flung the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance matey, not a minute stopped or statey, but with mane of lord and lady perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat, nothing more. The ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou art set, are sure no craven, ghastly, grim and ancient raven wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast above the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such a name as nevermore. But the raven sitting only on the placid bust spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing further than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before, and on the morrow he believed me as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, doubtless said I, what it utters is its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master whom unmerciful disaster followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore of nevermore. But the raven still beguiling all my sad soul into smiling straight, I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and busting door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking. Nevermore, this I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushions, velvet lining with the lamplight floating o'er. But the velvet violet lining with the lamplight floating o'er, she shall press nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfall tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch I cried that God had lent me by these angels, he hath sent thee respite and nepenthe for the memories of Lenore. Quaff this kind of plenty and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet said I, thing of evil, prophet still a bird or devil, whether tempter center, whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted on this desert land enchanted, on his home by horror haunted. Tell me truly I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet said I, thing of evil, prophet still a bird or devil, by the heaven that bends above us and the God we both adore. Tell the soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aden it shall clasp a sainted maiden whom the angels name Lenore, a rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend I shrieked of starting, get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of the lie thy soul has spoken, leave by loneliness unbroken, quit the bust above my door, take thy beat from out my heart, take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, Nevermore, and the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, and his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted. Nevermore.